We're going to go through the assembly, disassembly, and adjustment of the bump buster recoil systems by Speedbump Stockworks. This system is the one with the pad adjuster. This system is the one without the pad adjuster. So we'll start first with the bump buster without a pad adjuster, which is this model right here. I'm going to use my vise to make it more clear to see what I'm doing. All my products come with an instruction sheet and a toolkit. This is very simple to do with the gun put together. Stand the barrels of the gun down on the floor on a pad, and you can do everything I'm going to do here that way. Reassemble your gun when you get it. If it already has the bump buster assembled on it, you need to take the 3/32 Allen wrench, that's the smallest one in the kit, insert it in the screw nearest the recoil pad, and loosen it. And you notice the back end will kick off when you do that. Pull that off and set it aside. Then to take the unit out of the stock, use the same Allen wrench and loosen the two screws that hold the base unit into the stock. Then get off the base unit, pull it straight out of the stock. Note, you want to be very careful and not lose your return and helper spring that's located in this base unit. Lay that aside. To adjust the recoil tension, you'll notice there's a ring around the end of this hydraulic cylinder that's down in your stock that has numbers from 0 to 8 on it. The higher the number, the more recoil tension you get. The lower the number, the less you get. You always want to err to the heavy side. If you set the system too light, it'll bottom out and you'll still get kicked. It's adjustable for the load you shoot, for your perception of recoil, and it has to be adjusted by the shooter to his individual shells and his preference. Now to adjust this unit, you take this little Allen wrench, put it in this screw right here in the end, loosen the screw, turn the screw to whichever number you want it on, and then tighten it back down. Be sure and tighten it back down. Never loosen this screw on the side of the number ring. That's a lock screw that holds the cylinder together. You don't want to do that. It'll leak all the hydraulic oil out. Recently, Anodyne Corporation, that makes these cylinders for me, has made a design change. The silver cylinder that we used for about 6 years has got a steel body. The black cylinder has got an aluminum body, and it's 2 ounces lighter. Also, you'll notice that we changed out the screw so that your 3/32 Allen wrench that you took this out of the stock with also fits this screw, and there is no little tiny Allen wrench anymore. Same identical performance, just a different material. Okay, that's the only thing that you need to take it out of the gun stock for. Once you get your stock on, you have to take it out to adjust the recoil tension. But once that's done and you got your gun reassembled, you can put the unit back in the stock. Put the 2 screws back in that hold it in the stock. You notice they're machine screws. They go into threaded inserts, so you're not wearing out the threads in the wood. You can take it out, in and out, a million times without hurting anything. It's designed to. It needs to be tight. Go back and snug each one of them up. The unit's also adjustable for length of pull. To do that adjustment, we don't need to take the unit out of the stock. We do need to take the back end off of it like we have it now. Take your 7/64 Allen wrench out of the toolkit and loosen the 2 screws in the stock blade on the right hand side. About 1 full turn is all you need to loosen them. Then take the small knurled spanner wrench with 2 pins on it. Slide it over the piston shaft, insert it into the 2 holes in the threaded body, and you can simply screw the threaded body in or out to your desired length of pull. Once you have it where you want it, Take your spanner wrench out. Take your 7/64 Allen wrench and snug these two screws back up that we loosened. They don't have to be especially tight, they just need to be snug. Then you're ready to put the back end on. To assemble the unit properly, you need to take the recoil pad loose with your 3/32 Allen wrench. You don't have to take it off. You just need to take one screw out and loosen the other one so it'll swing down like that. You'll notice that in this piston shaft there's a groove. This set screw that locks it together right here has got to tighten up in that groove. Be sure that your return helper spring is in place around the piston shaft. Drop it over down in the hole. Then insert the two guide pins in the Teflon bushings. Push this thing down. You'll notice that it'll bounce back and forth on that spring. There's an offset right here when I first put it on there, when it contacts the spring. You have to make that offset go away to be sure that that set screw's in the groove. You have to drop the recoil pad down to see this. You have to visually see this. You can't just push it down on there and tighten it up. If you do, you're going to get poor performance out of the system and probably ruin the piston shaft. Push it down, make it flush right here. We want no offset between that bushing and that piston shaft. When you get it there, snug that screw up. Just snug. Then make sure that you're sitting flush. Take the 3/32 Allen wrench that comes in your toolkit, put it in the screw, and tighten it securely. Don't put a cheater on it, but tighten it as tight as you can get it with this Allen wrench. All the while maintaining that you're flush here. If you do that, you'll never have a problem and the system will never come apart. Then just swing your recoil pad up, reattach the two screws. That's all there is to the system without a pad adjuster. Now let's go to the system with a pad adjuster. This system, like I said, has an adjustable pad on the back. It gives us one more range of adjustment that the other system doesn't have. Some people need it, some people don't. That's why I offer it both ways. Everything is the same except the pad part on the back. It comes apart exactly the same way. Loosen the set screw closest to the pad. Lift the back end off. Take your helper spring, set it aside. Then this system will be the same as the one we already done without the pad adjuster. To adjust the recoil tension, do it the same way. Take it out with these two screws, take it out in your hand, adjust the tension like I showed you, put it back. To adjust the length of pull, same way as the other system. Loosen these two screws, plug a little spanner wrench in, and adjust it in or out to suit yourself for the length of pull. Now that's where things get different. To be able to see the offset, you need to loosen the screw in the center of the recoil pad, and drop the whole pad and adjustment plate down out of your way so that you can see past it in here. Make sure that your return helper spring is in place, and then slide the back end on the unit. Again, just like the unit without a pad adjuster, you can see right here where the piston shaft is misaligned with the bushing. That's because you're sitting against the spring. Again, compress the spring until this is flush. Then while you hold it there, snug up the screw on the right. Once you're sure it's in place, take the Allen wrench that comes in the toolkit, and once again, just like the other unit, tighten it securely. Now here's the main difference in the two units. This one, the recoil pad is adjustable for comfort. and gun fit. Locate the pad where you want it. Go right through the hole in the center of it to the screw and tighten it down to hold its position. And if you'll follow these simple instructions, you get years of perfect performance out of this unit. If you don't follow these instructions for putting it back together the proper way, it does not give true performance. You damage parts, and even though the system is guaranteed for the rest of your life, we do not guarantee owner misuse and abuse and improper assembly. I'm Ken Rucker, Speed Bump Stockworks, San Antonio, Texas. And like another guy says on TV all the time, thanks for your business.